Gotham Season 5, Episode 2, Trespassers. So this episode, we got a couple of different things going on. Of course, the GCPD ends up following the lead that the little kid gave them at the end of the last episode. And they end up going and Jim doing his normal Jim thing. He's being the hero. He comes across like 800 different issues. Like they save the kids. And I kind of like the fact that in this episode, it started off really simple, which I guess is kind of the process for him. Like things start off really normal and then they go like super, super crazy. But in this one, it was like, all right, it was already crazy enough because they're already within the city and it's chaos. It's no man's land. It's just it's confusion and it's just weird in general. So it's like, okay, they're already going through this process where it starts off super crazy. Just them driving to the location, they're being shot with bow and arrow, with arrows and crap like that. So it's like, all right, it's already starting off a little weird and it's insane and it's crazy. So they get there, they deal with the guy, they hold everybody up, they get the kids out, and I was like, all right, everything's good. Most of the kids get away except for three, or two kids and the teenager, like the one kid who actually spoke the whole time, one guy. And so it's like, all right, now they're being followed by this crew. And so they're being chased down because, of course, Jim has the bounty on his head. Then they go to the crazy hotel, and that's where the creepy mother character shows up, where we got like a glimpse of them at the end of the last season. So if I remember right, there were like 3 people there during that end sequence. So they could be throughout whatever creepy random area they're in. So we saw the mother, we saw the boy who gets adopted by the mom, and of course she kind of indoctrinates him a little, like this is how we're supposed to do it. So she kidnaps people, knocks them out with the lights, and then chops them up and puts logs on the fire. And so we see the two of them. They're able to technically survive. They get out of the house. She escapes into a different part of the house. So they're definitely coming back later. So I thought that was cool because I had forgotten about them, because I remember seeing them and I was like, oh, like when she first showed up in this episode, I was like, oh, it's the not Court of Owls lady, because they had the weird mask and stuff, and that's what it reminded me of at the last season. So I was like, all right, what's gonna happen with them? We don't know. We have to just kind of wait till it goes forward in the season. But it was fun to watch. We got more with Riddler, which I thought was definitely cool, and we see that Ed, at least, is starting up a big war between Penguin and I guess what's left of this motorcycle gang. I assume that wasn't everybody, but he killed like the leader. And so whoever is in control or whoever followed that one guy, they'll be going after Penguin now. And it makes sense that Ed would do that. I don't know. Their back and forth stuff, it's just like, all right, sometimes they're working together. Once it gets to the end, they're done. And then, all the issues that happen there with them still having that friendship that they used to have, and then all the crazy stuff Penguin did, and then Ed getting back at him, and them having to work together, and now it's done. And so Ed is like, all right, back to getting Penguin killed now. So that's what we end up finding out. The Riddler discovers that that's what happened, and he has to beat the guy up again to get the answers. So Ed is going to try to start a war with Penguin and like all the other gangs, which, as we know from the Flash forward, doesn't necessarily work out. And maybe now that I think about it, in the Flash forward, it makes me wonder if that was Riddler or if that was Ed doing, his Riddler thing. So did the two personas officially come together again, or did they stay separated? So that makes me wonder now for how that's going to play out. But thought that was entertaining. I was like, all right, well, things are going to get crazy there. Of course, we have Ivy coming back in this episode. Bruce ends up going to the witch, which we find out is Ivy. She tricks him. Surprise, surprise. She just obliterates those 3 guys who were just like, it was really weird, and I think that was the point. But I swear they considered her a witch, which they've dealt with supernatural stuff and which weird, crazy things, so it kind of made sense. But it was like they're really full on this witch thing, and also they're dressed like they're out of the 1800s. And I was just like, one dude literally had like a farmer's like pitchfork, and I was just like, something about. I think that's just the point. I mean, a lot of the characters, they're dressed like they're in the 50s sometimes, and all that. It's like this weird ambiguous time where everyone has flip phones, so it's like the 90s and stuff like that. But I was like, they look like they're out of the 1800s or something super weird. But then they all get killed off anyway, so it doesn't even matter. And Ivy ends up helping Bruce. He gets the herb or whatever it is. I almost called it the heart-shaped herb, which is just straight out of Black Panther, but that's not all what they called it. But whatever the little herb was. And so he takes it to Selina. So, of course, she's healed. And, of course, at the end, it's the ominous thing where she's got, like, the official green cat eyes. And so we see it from the promo that she's going to go, like, full cat persona, which I think is interesting. And she's going to have, like, legitimate abilities a little bit. So I'm excited for that. I'm curious how that's going to end up playing out and them separating the two characters leading into what eventually is, the Batman mythos. So I kind of like that idea. I thought it was very interesting, and I like the way it's handled. And based on the promo, I'm excited for the next episode and how they're going to focus on her going a little bit crazier. So I'm looking forward to that. But everything they did in this one, thought it was pretty fun. Barbara, of course, is still pissed, but she does ultimately end up helping Jim, and they're gonna end up having a deal, which may or may not cause them to end up getting together. That was in like the big full season promo from the premiere episode where it seemed like they were about to kiss. So that could be, any number of things. Just, it could be one thing. It could be them actually getting back together, which would be insane. But who knows? Who knows how that's going to end up playing out. But definitely a fun episode. I'm definitely looking forward to them getting back to some of the smaller elements from the premiere as well. Specifically, Anarchy and her basically teaming up with Jerome, and that whole element of the Joker coming in and how that's supposed to play out. And it seems like he's going to be in the next episode based on the promo. They show, if I remember right, they show like a quick little moment of him, so he might make a big appearance. It might be like a tiny little thing, who knows. But definitely looking forward to how things are going to kind of play out later. We still don't get to see a couple characters. Lee still doesn't show up in this episode. We still don't see Hugo. They referenced a few other people. I'm sure we won't see like Freeze and Firefly and some of the other villains. Like, we probably won't see his ass for a minute, but he has his own territory, which I think is pretty cool. So we'll still see a couple other characters show up, later on down the line. But, at this point, it was still the same amount of characters from the last episode, minus the small appearance, from Anarchy. I guess you could replace Anarchy with, the crazy mother and the kid. But definitely an entertaining episode. Quick little plan. We find out that the kids, that were being kidnapped and stuff, the whole plan was for them to like dig a tunnel under the water, which would have totally failed. The guy's like, the dude's telling like, hey, it's already leaking. Like, if we go any further, we'll be under the water. It'll flood. And he was freaking out. He freaked out so much he spit, and that drop of spit it was huge, and it just fell down. And I was like, well, that's gross, but that's really good acting, because that guy was freaking out, and I was like, I like it. Good acting there. And he was mad, and that spit just came right down. And I was like, that was kind of nasty, but that's a good looking scene. It was a good looking scene, so I liked it. But I was like, that plan was not gonna work. He said they've been doing it for like 3 months, and they made like 10 feet. And I was like, well, they suck, because even if it's pure concrete, granted they're little kids and stuff, but I was just like, they only made it 10 feet in all that time. They can't have been working them that hard, because it's like, that's 24 hours with all those kids they had, and they only made it like 10 feet deep. I'm like, I don't know. That seems a little odd to me. Granted, they were going through concrete and there was a giant hole. So I guess that makes sense, because they were doing the whole thing instead of just, obviously not just going in a straight line. But it's just like, man, this is crazy. This is a terrible plan. They've been doing it for months, and they made it 10 feet. They're too close to the water, and they would all drown and died in there anyway. So there's a million little issues with that. But it was funny. And they did not want to kill that guy off. Like, they have the part where they get cornered between the crazy guy and the people dressed up like the Day of the Dead. And so this random woman, who I'm pretty sure has never been in the show, I thought something was going to happen. Like, oh, she seems cool. I like the design. It's very interesting. And so Jim's like, I got 2 bullets and stuff, and he doesn't want to shoot. And so then they both start coming in, and he just blows the woman's brains out. She's dead right off the top. And I was like, oh, okay, well, she's gone. She's nothing. And then even when Barbara comes in, they're like lighting them all up with the Gatling gun and everything. And like, they hit him in the leg. And I was like, man, they just don't want to kill this guy. But Jim ends up killing him at the end. I think he killed him. I didn't exactly look. Like, I heard him shoot when the guy like got up. So I don't know if he actually shot him in the face and like actually killed him. But I'm pretty sure he did. But it also kind of looked like he was moving. But I'm like, I think he killed him. Like, I didn't bother to rewind it just to check. But I was like, I think he's dead. So if he's not, then I don't know what purpose he could serve. It's not like he was strong or anything like that, or anything special outside of like the crazy guy. But aside from that, which was entertaining acting in the episode, I don't know what giant purpose he could truly serve. But I don't know. I thought it was an interesting little moment. And all in all, definitely a fun episode. So I'm certainly looking forward to whatever they're going to end up doing next. I'm curious what they might actually end up doing with Ivy and her character growing and stuff like that. So I'm curious. I'm definitely curious how things are going to end up playing out there. And, like I said, all the other elements of all the other characters that we haven't seen in the season just yet. But excuse me, really fun episode. Naturally, want to know what you guys thought about it, so please put your comments down in the comment section below. Let me know your favorite parts about it, your least favorite parts about it, and of course with Selina kind of changing and coming back to life with these new superpowers and the true full-on cat persona. I would love to know your predictions on how that is going to play out for her character. I assume it's just going to be the normal circumstance, considering they're going in line and it's going to be sort of Batman style. It's going to start off with her being super crazy, and then she'll get more and more control over her powers, and then naturally, her and Bruce still won't end up together, because that's like the eternal love struggle between the two characters, is that they never actually get together. Like, even in the comic books, there was a big thing recently where they were supposed to, and it did not happen. So it'll be interesting to see how long it takes for that arc to play out. But I feel like that's what's gonna happen. She'll be like super crazy and stuff for a little bit, and she'll be super. I don't know if they'll give her like extra strength, but there's like a scene where she had like the cat teeth and stuff, and it seemed like she did like a super jump. So I don't know if it's really gonna get to that crazy point, but either way, we'll see how it ends up playing out. It can't be worse than the movie Catwoman, so there's that. But we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. But like I said, definitely want to know your predictions on how you think that story arc is going to play out, what you want to see from the story arc, and how it might play out. And like I said, definitely want to know what you guys want to see, or what you guys thought about this episode in general. So please put your comments down in the comment section below. And of course, thanks for watching.